Hello everyone, I am HiMrSmiles. It's wonderful to be here. It's gotta be, what? The origin story of the the super crazy bad guy? No, why did I call myself HiMrSmiles, right? Why couldn't I have just called myself Mr. Smiles? Well, it's not that great of a story. Mr. Smiles was already taken. Yeah. So, hi, Mr. Smiles. Make it a little unique. Make it my own. You can see it's very themized, Mr. Smiles. Got the big old smiley. Yeah. So, today I want to get into a little gaming drama, a little gaming news. So, I'm sure some of you out there have heard of Diablo Immortal. Diablo Immortal. Even just saying the name of the game makes me cringe. I only played it a little bit, and trust me, a little bit is all I needed. Diablo Immortal is a highly pay-to-win game. I'm sure some people could disagree or argue to the opposite, but let's be honest, they would just be kidding themselves. They would be lying to themselves, telling them sweet little nothings to, help them get to sleep at night. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. So pay to win. Blizzard goes so far as to hide the fact that there's multiple different types of gems that are kind of named similarly. So you pay money for these gems, and they're called like legendary crests or something. And then there's also like an eternal legendary crest, and the one that you can actually pay money for, it doesn't actually work on what you want to use it on, something like that. Anyway, so we got this guy here. His name is Rax, and he and his team, they worked on the alpha in terms of like testing and helping Blizzard kind of like, I don't know, optimize or find issues with the game, or figure out numbers and like how strong players are, blah blah blah. Back in like the alpha and like the play testing, yeah. So these guys helped out with that. This guy Rax, he put out some videos on YouTube, kind of like detailing that process, how that all went. And yeah, we're gonna go check it out.
Hi everyone, it's Rax. I wanted to bring you a video summarizing my final thoughts on Diablo Immortal.
Okay.
Because I think I may be ending my playing career in this game. I'd like to talk to you about the entire progression of the game. Some of you may or may not care about that, but I've been testing this game since the alpha.
Long time.
I think it's important to understand the progression of the game to show you how I actually feel about it. Before I start, I want to say that in general, I'm usually very pro Blizzard. I literally...
Same. In general, I would say I'm pro Blizzard. I may get flack for that. Some people may disagree. That's totally okay. I mean, it's not... Blizzard games are not for everybody. Like Overwatch for me, if you ignore the loot boxes, I absolutely loved the team aspect and the characters and everything in that game. Overwatch was so fun with me and friends, especially on the Xbox. Most of my friends are Xbox players, not PC. So we would play the heck out of Overwatch. Oh man, such a fun game. I played like Warcraft 3 back in the day, played StarCraft, a little bit of StarCraft 2. So, I would in general say I'm a Blizzard fan.
Stream their games all the time. I've been playing their games since I was like 12 years old. They have been my favorite gaming company even when they really let me down. I still try to stick by Blizzard. I felt very honored that Blizzard let me test the game ahead of time and try to help. I do not think that I'm God's gift to Earth and that all of my ideas are great, or Blizzard should do everything.
What are you talking about, man? You gotta be confident. You are. You are the shiznit. No, that's good. This guy's humble. I like it.
Everything that I say. So with those things out of the way, I want to tell you how I actually feel about Immortal before I stop playing.
Okay.
Now, the number one question that I get by far is, Rax, why are you playing Diablo Immortal? The most truthful answer to that is, I promised my team I would play until the Rite of Exile. The Rite of Exile is tomorrow, actually. It's the second Sunday after the game releases. The Rite of Exile is the battle where you compete to become the Immortals. So we fight tomorrow. Hopefully we become the Immortals. I might play a little bit as the Immortals. And I don't see myself continuing this game unless we see some changes. So that's the real reason in why.
So, unless we see some changes, I wonder what he's going to say. Maybe something about pay to win? No. Let's be honest. The game itself is not even that great. The game itself, like the actual gameplay, is not that great. So, anyway.
Why I'm still playing. At its very core, I thought Diablo Immortal had a lot of potential, but a lot of things, in my opinion, went very wrong that are really holding it back. So, let's go back. Let's go back to the alpha of the game, okay? When it all started, and this is about, I don't know, about 1 year ago, okay? So keep in mind,
Long time
1
back.
year ago. So, logged in, and I played the alpha a ridiculous amount, okay, to test the game. To give you an idea, I was Paragon 150, Rob was Paragon 149,
Guess that's
and
one
the
of the guys
next
he's
highest
working
in
with, Rob.
the world, any testing region, was, I think, Echo Hack at Paragon 102.
Okay.
So Rob and
these guys were
were
grinding.
Ultima Blast.
These guys were grinding. They were plowing away. All right.
The alpha. So 1 year before the game's release, excuse me, we play the alpha, and the game, it certainly has its problems, right? Crusaders were 1,000 times stronger than every other class. The battlegrounds were extremely unfair. If you were really powerful, you can just one-shot everybody. There was no pay to win in the alpha. Obviously, there was no resonance. So your combat rating was
me one-shotting some noobs.
Was really all of your power. And there were no caps in the game. You could just play and play and play and get stronger. Another big thing to understand is because there were no caps, it was all based on combat rating.
Okay.
And because zone events weren't the zone events that you're used to now, the game was completely different. Because there was a huge incentive to play. There was a huge incentive to log in and maximize these zone events. Because in order to increase your combat rating by upgrading, you needed yellows, which dropped in the zone events.
Okay.
So what the game was it was a very social MMO that rewarded playing.
Okay.
It was, think of all the top players as a little school of fish.
Right.
And they would look at all the zone events, the carriage in the cemetery, the big monster in Mount Zavane, the pages in Zoltan Kuhl. Since they came up so frequently, we would move as a school of fish between the different difficulties and the different zone events, and we would work together to maximize our yellows to keep upgrading to pump our combat rating.
Right.
We were doing all the events in the game that Blizzard had designed. We were getting a lot of legendaries. We were having a lot of fun. And everybody knew everybody. You would be moving.
Let me just, I just want to stop real quick. That's one of my favorite aspects of these types of games. MMOs especially. I wouldn't necessarily call Diablo Immortal like a full-on MMO or anything, but multiplayer aspect. Man, I've always loved that aspect of games, like being able to communicate and like, hey, you want this item, you want to trade, whatever. Hey, let's go, blast through another dungeon or whatever. Oh man, yeah, I love that. Love it.
Moving along again as the School of Ish, and then you'd see Echo Hack join me. Oh, Echo Hack woke up. Oh, here comes Lexi. Oh, here comes Mr. K.
Right.
Here comes Z.
Everybody's
They
jumping
all
on.
woke up, and now we're blasting as a bunch of friends. When the zone events are down, we
Hell
would all
yeah.
split up into different dungeons. There were no set items at the time. We'd all split up and do whichever dungeons we want to do.
Yeah.
And that's how we spent our day. So, can you imagine our opinion seeing this in the alpha? No pay to win, no residence. The zone events are really fun. We're all
Right.
playing together. There's a
Right.
huge sense of camaraderie. And we think to ourselves, with 1 year of development on top of this game,
Yeah, they're thinking this is gonna be a good game. They're sitting there playing through this game. Like, look at what he's talking about. The power levels. They're like way over anybody else. They're obviously enjoying themselves. Like, this is going to be an awesome game. That's what they're thinking. And then, well, we know what happened.
they could make the game amazing. And we have huge hopes that this could be a fantastic game on launch.
Right.
So when I was done testing the alpha, I'll show you something here. I made this Word document. It's 19 pages long.
19 pages.
A lot of time.
19 pages. Man, you couldn't even get me to write that much back in like college writing class. I think the longest paper I ever wrote was like 9 pages in like all of my schooling. I'm pretty sure.
I'm into it.
Maybe
Played
12.
for 400
Maybe 12
hours in Paragon 150. I have super high combat rating. I played 2 classes. I became the Immortal. I played a bunch of Battlegrounds. Here's how to here.
So yeah, let's just be clear. These guys really played through the game. Like, they didn't just scratch the surface or anything. They played this game, like, through and through. And so if anybody can speak to, like, okay, was this an awesome test run? Was this an awesome alpha? You know, is this game, like, looking legit, looking ready to go, you know, at this point? These guys could speak to that.
Here's what I think about the classes, you know. Here's what I think about all the different activities and how to make it better. Attacking, defending,
Right.
here's the bestiary, here's bounties, here's the campaign, you get it. There's 19 pages of stuff here. And at the
Holy
very
cow.
bottom, I put, here's like a nice to have list. You know, I wish we could fix the keyboard in the game. I can't talk to anybody. Equipment manager, we have...
Look at this. And they sent all this to Blizzard. Like, Blizzard was like, yeah, heck yeah, give us your feedback. And they give them 19 pages. 19 pages. And like a nice, like, full sheet of wish list items. Like, they actually gave them, like, for free. Well, I assume they don't mention getting paid. For free, like a nice laundry list of items that they could improve on. Like, they're literally doing everything they can for free to set Blizzard up for success. Well, I guess your success is relative, I guess.
We actually got this. Option to auto-skip cutscenes. We didn't get that. More battleground maps. We didn't get that. More diverse dailies. We kind of got that. Factions need to be rebalanced. They fixed that, etc.
Okay.
I'm not the end-all, be-all. I'm not the smartest tester. They shouldn't just do what I tell them to. But I did play the game in...
I don't know. That seems up for debate to me. It seems like he's a pretty confident tester. Or competent.
incessantly. I do have, I think, the players and Blizzard's best interest in mind. Alpha, it got a big, gigantic green check mark. Okay? Now imagine what happens on launch. Now let's see how the game looks that you guys all saw.
Yeah.
So we have the PC beta, first of all, and I understand what the term beta means. People like to
Right.
always remind me what beta means. It means it doesn't, it essentially means it doesn't work, right?
Right.
And you need to test it, we need to fix it. That's fine. However, I do find that there is one thing that I expect. If the controls don't work,
The basics.
that they will be fixed promptly.
Right.
If I can't move and shoot, then you would fix that.
That's
right?
a problem. Yeah.
That's to me the bare minimum expectation, right?
Right.
If I tell you I can't move or
if you can't even move your character, if you can't do the basic functions of a game, it's not a game. It's a it's a long list of code, like meaningless code. Seriously, that's basically what it is. Oh, there's some pretty pictures and some things change on the screen, but it's not a game. It's not a game if you can't do the basics like move and shoot.
Hack. The rest of it can take forever, and I guess I just don't completely understand how it works for a gigantic behemoth company to make a change. But 3 weeks in, I still cannot move and shoot on my Demon Hunter. Let
me just stop real quick again. So he said he doesn't understand what it's like to be a big behemoth company and make these changes. They could easily make these changes, and fast. I mean, we see it happen with other games. I don't really like the model of kind of releasing, like not actually releasing, but releasing a game as a beta. Like on Steam, for instance. I think Steam actually has rules about this. I'm not sure. Don't quote me, but I believe that if you release a game as kind of a beta or early access or whatever they call it on Steam, it allows you to make like constant updates. Like you can literally update every day or even multiple times a day if you want to, because it's a early access game, like it's not fully released. And so some developers seem to do that just to kind of get away with it, because they know their game is buggy, or they have concerns that their game is buggy, and so in order to be able to update in a timely, in a faster fashion, to not leave those bugs out there, they do their game as like early access or whatever. So my point is, we see this happen. We do see this happen with developers. They are able to push out updates fast. And maybe they're not as big as Blizzard, but man, it seems like it should be more possible than some like weeks-long process just to fix controls. Like, what? That should be like overnight, man. That should... What are you guys doing? You pay your people to twiddle their thumbs, I guess.
To me, is heartbreaking. I can't tell you how many times I've died in the battleground. I've died on a boss. Yeah, my ability to shoot the wrong way just because I can't move.
Yeah, that's not okay.
So that to me has been a big letdown that I still can't move 3 weeks after the game is launched.
Blizzard.
And then of course we have the caps everywhere. There's like this chain reaction. Yeah. Everything is capped. They capped our upgrades. They capped how much stuff you can get per day. Materials. And so this has completely destroyed the incentive to play.
Right.
Right now, for the second time already in my Immortal career.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Especially with what he's talking about. Like, they already... Well, I don't know for sure the changes between their testing and the alpha or like pre-alpha or whatever compared to when it's actually launched. I mean, he mentioned a couple, but like specifically with these caps and stuff, like I don't know if that existed before. And well, I guess he's saying it didn't exist before, so maybe I answered my own question. But anyway, so like for a free-to-play player, having these caps, it just doesn't make sense. Like, you want to incentivize all players to keep playing, I would think, even in a pay-to-win model, because if you have nothing to do, well, like he's talking about, if you can't even get materials and stuff like that, like, why would someone keep playing? And there would be less opportunity, I would think, for those players to be exposed to like your good deals or whatever that are gonna get people to buy gems and stuff. So like caps, limiting players, you know, not as much to do in the day. They log in less. They have less exposure to your advertisements for gems or deals or, you know, whatever, sales, whatever. that could be encouraging them to spend money on your game. It doesn't even make sense.
Without playing a crazy amount of hours, I could have played so many more. For the second time, my Demon Hunter has absolutely nothing to do. I will be Paragon 40 by the Rite of Exile. I will have my gear at level 9. Not that that even matters at all, but there's nothing for me to do. So I already have like a Paragon 13 Necro. Leveled it completely. Very soon he'll be Paragon 30. I got 7 levels. 8 levels yesterday just doing my dailies because they give me such a high boost.
Wow.
Etc. I could go into this in extreme detail, but I'm going to save you the trouble. But the caps in the game have completely erased the incentive to log in.
Right.
I can't get any stronger. And you want to know what's the funny thing about it? Let's say they hadn't capped this stuff. Let's say they hadn't capped the upgrade materials.
Yeah.
That actually wouldn't have changed the game at all. Let's say that they weren't the caps, and I could have kept blasting and blasting and blasting.
Right.
And let's even say that my gear was like plus 16. Well, if it continues at plus 24 around, that's 8, that's 160, that's 32, that's what, 192, something like that, plus 192 combat rating. That would have put me at roughly, let's see, 8, 16 minus 8, 1968 combat rating right now. I would be at 1968 combat rating.
Okay.
You know where that puts me in reference to the whales? Nowhere near them. And then you might think to yourself, well, maybe they put the caps in the game to thwart botting. No, that doesn't thwart botting. It doesn't stop it. It actually promotes botting.
So yeah. When you can't even get close on free-to-play, not even close, I mean, that just makes it 100% clear what Blizzard's goal is with this game, right? I mean, and we should already know this from other news that's been, I mean, it's so prevalent, but I just wanted to go over these videos because it's pretty interesting. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure we've heard a little bit, like freaking drop $15,000 trying to get a legendary crest. Like, that's insane. So you're a player trying to spend no money because you're broke or, I don't know, what, saving for college or whatever the reason, buying a new car, house, whatever. You don't have the money to drop on this game. And why should you have to in the first place, right? Just to be able to compete. It totally ruins the incentive to even play it. Like, oh, I want to go do some battlegrounds. I want to fight. I want to do some PvP. And you get wiped out. You get wiped out because you can't even get your combat rating even close on free to play because of all these caps, because of all these limitations, blah blah blah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Because the botters are going to be a higher paragon than me if they aren't banned, and they're going to get the upgrades before me.
Right.
So not only does it not hinder botting, it helps botting, and you would have never helped me catch the whales. This combat rating doesn't help me because combat rating doesn't help anyway. Combat rating is capped in PvP, and the only thing that matters is resonance, which is pure pay to win, and playing the game doesn't help you increase your resonance.
Wow.
So all these caps not only ruined my experience, it didn't help the whales, and it didn't stop the botters.
Right.
Nothing. I do not understand why these were here. To me, unless I'm missing something, all it did was ruin my experience.
Right.
This topic has been talked about so much. I don't want to sit here and talk about it 10 million times. We all know the game is very pay to win. You can't win anything
obviously.
as a free-to-play player or even a medium spender.
No. You can totally play through Diablo Immortal and not spend any money and have the same experience, of course. Whatever.
Unless your server completely sucks. If you won as a free-to-play player in anything, it just means that you don't have any spenders on your server. That's the only thing that it means. You have absolutely no chance of beating them.
Right.
Their power level is way too high. They could have picked a much less predatory model. This is the model that they chose. I understand that the developers don't choose that.
Yeah, so there's some key points there, right? This is the model that was chosen. It was deliberately chosen, because obviously they can tell, right? They can see this happening. Whether through social media or articles or, I don't know, just watching their own servers, the stats and stuff. Like, you can see all these players just getting wiped out from these select few that are paying thousands of dollars, right? Like, it's obvious what's happening. So it's not like they're blind to it, like, oh, our game is too pay to win? What? No. It was intentional. You look at that just through, like, the deals that they put out, like that very first, what is it? It's like after you do your very first, like, main boss or dungeon or whatever, it's like right after that, there's an ad, buy some stuff, 800% value. It's a great deal. It's a fantastic deal, 800% value. Like, come on. It's obviously pay to win. Anyway. Oh, yeah. And another thing that he just mentioned. Like, I think that's something that really important to point out. It's not the developers. Like, it's not the guys on the ground in Blizzard HQ or whatever, you know, the office working on Diablo Immortal. It's not those guys sitting there plugging away doing their code that decide to make the game pay to win. It's the executives. It's freaking what's his name? Bobby. It's Bobby, the CEO. It's guys like that running the show that are like, okay guys, so if I'm gonna get a new yacht this year, if I'm gonna lay concrete and make my kid a new basketball court in the backyard, we're gonna need this game to be extremely pay to win. We only need like 1% of players to spend like, I don't know, $5 to $10, $15,000 each in order to make this game super profitable. Like, yeah, it's not the developers. It's not the guys like busting their asses on this game. It's definitely the CEO / executives.
It's fine. They got nothing to do with that. They just make the game.
Right.
So let's try to go back into the actual game. And, another thing that I don't understand is the zone events. They nerfed it extremely, right? They nerfed it. They almost never occur, and they also just don't matter anymore because of these caps. I could skip every zone event for the rest of my life, and it's not going to matter. I can still be as strong as a free-to-play player can possibly be, which I am right now.
That's sad.
If you look at my Demon Hunter cannot get stronger as a quote-unquote free-to-play player. I spent $40 on the first day. I got absolutely nothing. I said, that's enough. I'm not going to spend any more. Haven't spent a cent since. I'm as strong as I can possibly be as a free-to-play player. I don't understand.
Keep it strong, man. Don't spend any more money. $40. I wouldn't have even spent that.
And why we crucified this and why we changed this. Because this was the most fun part about the game. It made it a social MMO.
Yep.
I saw all my friends all the time. We were working together to achieve a common task. This is where this is what we did. This is what made the game fun. Why?
See, in my opinion, I think that would actually be more, I don't know, like maybe not more profitable, but it would give the game more longevity to do no caps, to do like either way less or just no pay to win. Because in my opinion, that brings in a way larger player base, right? And more consistent long-term player base, because people, oh, it's not pay to win, this is really fun. Like hanging out with my friends, like he's saying, running all these dungeons and events and just doing everything we can. I just feel like that would give the game more longevity, and you might not make as much money like up front or right away or even over time, but I don't know. I guess companies just don't care about like their brand positivity, or you know what I mean, like how people feel about it. They just don't really care anymore, or at least not companies like Blizzard. It's just like it's all about the bottom line. We gotta bring in that dough.
Why did you make all these fun zone events if we weren't meant to do them all the time?
Right.
Now, to be very clear, I understand that these zone events were happening way too often, and they didn't like maybe the structure of it. But this is way too severe of a change.
Right.
You
exactly.
made them the most fun, most exciting thing to worthless. I really just don't get it.
It's so
So,
sad.
in conclusion,
sad.
I wrote another document on release. I wrote another 8-page document talking
Dang.
about the caps and the Paragon and the zone events and bounties and the bestiary and the layers.
This guy's
Heavy
serious.
ornate chests and the charms that don't do anything. The battle pass, the battlegrounds. They made the battlegrounds better. There's still some problems. There's
They did
still
one
too
improvement.
much CC. The bandages weren't working. It's way easier to defend. I don't know why battlegrounds go down.
That's so funny. Like, they asked this guy and his team for like a really in-depth, you know, I guess testing and review, and they do it. They do a hell of a job. Freaking 19 pages, and then you know, we changed one thing, but we listened. We did it. It's all good. We cared.
Pay to win ruins it. You can't queue with your friends, etc. So I made another document and I sent it to Blizzard, trying to help again. on
Another
launch.
document.
I'm trying to help, man. I'm trying.
Yeah, too much.
But I think after 3 weeks,
They
of
don't
this,
care. It's horrible.
I still can't move. I'm still crushed by the whales and
Wait,
everything. I'm almost.
what did he
to
say? How many
legend.
weeks?
I still can't move.
Where was it?
But I think after 3 weeks of this,
3 weeks.
I still can't move.
3 weeks, and they haven't figured out movement. Movement still doesn't work correctly after 3 weeks. Yikes, Blizzard. Massive company. Come on. You're a game developer. Could at least make the movement work. Make the movement work.
I'm still crushed by the whales and everything. I'm almost to legend tier in PvP, trying to do it as a free-to-play, sub 400
This
resonance
guy's
player.
grinding.
But it's just so hard, man. It is so impossible for me to make a significant difference in these battlegrounds. I multi-shot
bad.
a whale, it hits them for 5% of their health, they auto-attack me once, and 90% of my health is gone. The PvP is essentially completely ruined. Whenever there's a game at my tier, I'm halfway through Gold 4 right now, trying to get to Legend. If there's a game where I'm the MVP of my team, we're pretty much guaranteed to lose. Because if I'm the strongest person, or if I'm the person playing the best on our team, we're doomed.
Damn.
Right? Because I just don't have any power, because I didn't spend a lot of money in the game. After 3 weeks of this, I think I've pretty much had enough.
He's hurt himself enough.
I do think that Blizzard could make changes to make the game better.
Right.
And they could make it a lot better for free-to-play players. By the way, one comment that has to be made. The crafting system that they added for free-to-play players is essentially completely worthless.
Ouch.
Maybe you guys have seen the videos. It takes you if you do the math, it takes you 52 years to get a five-star gem. An actual 5-star gem. And it doesn't matter. Even if you do get one, you don't have the gem power to upgrade it. I have a 2 out of 5 seeping bile. That's
52 years. And then what did he say? Even if you manage it, you don't have the gem power to upgrade it or something? So you have not a worthless necessarily, but you just can't improve it to the max potential? That's crazy. How do they think this is okay? It hurts. It hurts me.
It's the luckiest thing that's happened to me. I can't upgrade it. It costs 50 gem power to upgrade it 1 rank. I can't even upgrade my seeping bile a single rank as a free-to-play player.
Wow.
So, I don't know. I guess I gotta wait for 5 million years. to level it up to rank 2.
No, not 5 million.
Or,
Come on. Let's not be exaggerating here. Not 5 million years. Only 52. Come on.
just not use it, I guess. But I think they thought that their new crafting system would help free-to-play players. It really doesn't. It doesn't do anything. Another thing is they nerfed rare crests. I don't know why they did this. This was kind of a dirty move. Rare crests were the only hope that we had, and rare crests can no longer give you 2-star gems. They can only give you 1 star.
Ew.
At least according to the tooltip, and I've never gotten 2-star out of them. So you nerfed rare crests and you replaced it with a crafting system that doesn't help us at all. In fact, both the times that I crafted my random 1-star legendary, which is once every 10 days, both times I got a 1-star gem. So I worked for 20 straight days to get 2 1-star gems, which is like 2 gem power.
Damn.
Which is absolutely nothing, so I gained no power whatsoever.
So sad.
You could make it better for free-to-play players, but if I were to put on my Blizzard executive hat right now, and I'm thinking about the game, you only get one chance to make a first impression. What is the impression of the game?
Oh, we know. We know what Bobby's thinking. He's sitting up there with his CEO hat on, and he's thinking, I need that new yacht, baby. Get me a new yacht. Get me a new car. Get me a new mansion. All of it. I want to have that summer house in Barbados. I want to have the winter house in friggin', I don't know, Indonesia, Malaysia, something, Philippines. What the heck, man?
I think, based on everything that I've seen, the internet speaks very loudly.
Oh yeah.
So maybe there are a lot of people that aren't on the internet. They aren't on.
We know how to say things.
They aren't on YouTube. They aren't on Reddit, and they are actually enjoying the game, and that's fine. And by the way, it should be said, you can enjoy the game, download it for free, not spend any money, enjoy the game, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
As long as you don't want to be competitive.
Yeah.
If you don't want to win anything, then as long as that doesn't bother you.
As long as you don't mind not partaking in the end game at all. It's great.
Then certainly you can do that. But maybe there is a big, the vast majority of people just download it and play, and maybe they're enjoying it. And that would be fantastic.
Right.
But from everything that I've heard online, and online speaks the loudest, the first impression
they
was
let you
not
know.
good, especially mostly because of the pay-to-win stuff. So the first impression is already out.
Yeah.
And then we say, well, should we normalize Battlegrounds now? Should we normalize PvP? And then if we do that, should we let people queue with their friends because it's normalized, it's fair, you can play with whoever you want?
Right.
And I don't know if you should do that because the whales spent copious amounts of disposable income on the game to smash the plankton, the free-to-play players.
Right.
If you now all of a sudden normalize...
Why would you want to normalize? When you're already raking in all this cash. No, that's not even on the table. Bobby's up there going, this is exactly what we planned. We're so happy. Look at this cash that I'm taking a shower with. I have so much of it.
Is it within their right to now charge back or request refunds for all the money? Would Blizzard risk that?
I don't know.
As an executive, I'm not sure that they would be willing to risk that, or if anything like that is ever going to happen.
Right.
Sure, you could buff free-to-play, and that would help, certainly, but it's always going to end up being the pay-to-win game, right? The people who spend the money are going to win the game. It's the nature of the mobile economic system. So... although I would like to be able to move and shoot and have a fair PvP system and also be able to queue with my friends and...
Dude, this guy just has unrealistic expectations. You want to be able to move and shoot? You want to play with friends? Nah. It's a big ask.
Not be capped and go do all these fun zone events. Do I think all of this is gonna happen? Probably not. It's a complete 180 from what they
Right.
currently have,
Right.
and it's what they had before. It is what we had in the alpha, and they took 1 year to change it to this. So anyway,
So let me get this straight. They took a reasonable, fun game. They got these guys to play test it, talk it up, get excited. Well, fairly excited about it. And then they pulled the rug out from under them, right? A year later, it's a completely different game. Completely pay to win. Totally all about the money. They don't care if it's fun. Well, I mean, it's got to be fun to a degree, but only fun for people who can spend thousands of dollars on it. And they don't care about the plankton. So they literally are okay with alienating like 99% of players just for the 1% that will pay thousands of dollars and make them rich. Go figure.
I'm going to play until the Rite of Exile. I'm going to play a little bit as the Immortals, and my plan at that time is probably to stop playing this game. I do
Just
still
stop now.
like Blizzard, especially the developers. I was very happy to be involved in the testing. I don't think it was...
I guess he was happy to be involved in the testing. Freaking 19 pages. No matter how happy I was to be involved in something, I would not be doing 19 pages for anybody.
a waste of my time at all. So I appreciate that. But my overall feelings about how this turned out, based upon what it could have been, is, I got to be honest with you, I'm very disappointed. And part of the reason that I would feel that I'm more disappointed than most people is because of how I spent my time in the alpha and how the game was fun. With 1 year of development to go, what could the game become? It essentially did a complete 180 in my eyes, in the wrong direction, and took out the incentive to...
Like I said earlier, totally different game. Fun game, no pay to win, no caps. Like you can level up forever and keep playing with your friends, have a great time. Oh, bunch of caps. Can't freaking even get materials to try and craft, to try and make yourself stronger, and even if you do, it's going to take 52 years to get 5-star, blah, 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 blah. And then you have all these opportunities for people to pay thousands of dollars to be super strong and destroy you. Nice.
play the game. It turned into a complete pay-to-win,
Cluster.
clown fiesta.
Just say it.
And the beta
Cluster.
on the client that I want to play, I understand there's going to be problems. I couldn't move or shoot, and 3 weeks later, I still can't move and shoot. That is extremely disappointing to me. I think it's a big missed opportunity.
It's not okay.
One thing that I would like to say before I go, something positive, is Blizzard did make some good changes. The class balance in Diablo Immortal is one of the best I've ever seen for any release. Any class can do some very great things in both PvE and PvP. That's incredible.
Nice. So the classes are extremely balanced. Feels really good up until people start spending thousands of dollars and destroy you. Nice. Okay. Got it.
They did a really good job there.
Yes,
They
class
did
balance doesn't
polish,
mean that much.
believe it or not. They did polish a lot of the bug fixes that we found in the alpha.
Oh, good.
So it's not like they sat around and did nothing or just built a system to make a lot of money. They did make the game better in some aspects.
Wait. They didn't just sit around and build a system to make a lot of money? I would disagree. I would have to disagree.
But I think there's too many core fundamental problems that were introduced that, at least for me as a player, I'm just one player, are making it not that fun. Those are my final thoughts on Diablo Immortal. What do you guys think? How are you honestly interpreting this game? Are you having fun? Have you already quit playing? And we'll be going into Diablo 3 Season 27 very soon.
All right, well, so that was the first video from Rax, and that is not where it ends. That is not where the epic tale ends, my friends.